Welcome to this video.
You know what? Actually, yay. Okay. So, first off, rearranging beep boop bop beep boop. Your thinking and perspective of yourself is way, way low value. All right. And this is not you doing it intentionally. You got manipulated by other people who are lazy of doing their own hard work of emotional healing, which you've been doing. And I'm so thank you. From one person to another, thank you. Because when one person heals, we all do. All right? We're all in this beautiful world and it's a circle for a reason. Okay? Circle of life is also it. What is destroyed will be created. When you realize who you are has always been enough for others to accept you the way that they accept others is something that is so revolutionary, where you will include yourself in groups. You will include yourself in places before that you originally perceived yourself as too less than to even be welcomed in. You are more than welcome in. All right. You are more than welcomed in. If people outside of you have a different perspective, that is theirs for their own selves, and that is theirs for their own value. Not one person outside of you can define who you are in this very moment, in the future to come. In the past, we all have been however we've been, and that value is not even tangible in the present. The only tangible way to be of value is how to present yourself as the natural presentation that you are. Everyone's face is like a circle too, okay? Now, of course, you have your like face shapes. Like square comes to mind. The thing is it's still like a circle, okay? It just has really cool points, okay? And it's super like still a circle, just a different shape of a circle. And that is who you are everywhere you go. And when it comes to especially other people who you gave a lot of caring love to and adoration, it's something where that in of itself needs to be given to you, and it needs to be really emphasized to you as to how to give yourself that today, just today. How can you give yourself different ways of doing different things that will help you feel a lot more sure of yourself, a lot more on point in the direction that you want to go? And it's so cool because the more you care less about other people and what they do with their own lives, the more you're able to care about your own. And it's a natural way where you naturally care. You just have to care about yourself before anyone else. And it's like the airplane method too, where when a airplane is falling down, the mask will come out, and you have to really use your own inhalation, exhalation to remember that you're still alive. Literally, deep breathing for me is that, where my mind gets so overzealous, overwhelmed. Really emphasizing for me right now, I'm working through pessimism, and it's really like quicksand for me sometimes. So, like, just before this, to be honest, I felt super like just bombarded with like being confused why I'm like connected with certain people who don't, like, I don't come out feeling good about myself. And along my learning of healing myself and everything and boundaries, it's interesting with other people as to how like they themselves are emotionally chaotic in their own life, and then it kind of seeps into yours, and it gets you to doubt yourself in way where you are like writing over your like your trust in way of trusting theirs, of like this is how life is, their perspective of you. And it's like something where y'all, it's like a emotional mind game where they themselves individually still hold the same amount of emotional, like, you know, everyone holds emotions equally. We just do it differently. Like literally no one breathes the same. No one's blood is the same. No one's DNA is the same. Your fingerprint is different. Everything about us is different. And it's this interesting thing to get away from thinking that you're like everyone else when you're not. Yo, I see a really cool cardinal and it's just in a tree. Yeah, it's like with connections that give you like connections that really rev up emotions of like it's like you have to handle your emotions a lot more, if you will, slower to deciding on acting. And so it's like you're now kind of feeling out your emotions when they're really intense and chaotic. And when you feel this out, the patience of it allows you to decompress so it's not so intense when you do act in way of emotional release. Because there's something about how emotional release is like, interestingly, you're reconstructing some kind of water dam, DAM, so that you can hold in what now is like a modern emotional understanding for who you are. It's like your intellect is sharpening up your skills of how to adapt as an individual in the world, especially emotionally, and understanding your emotions is super crucial right now for you. So, especially with the chaotic feelings, those are friends. Feelings are friends, okay? That, like, in of itself is something to really be aware of, that we're going to feel, period, point blank. That's what helps also in way of revival, that you're still alive, that life is going through you in way of you're experiencing it. And like when you touch things, when you taste things, your sensations is a signal in your brain, and your brain is sending different pathways. And so allow yourself to think in way of you individually as the key important piece to why before it was chaotic, now it's not, because handling the chaos differently is the key to the peace, right? How can you find inspiration for you to keep going towards your dreams, towards your goals, bettering your life, in forgiving, releasing the bitter in way of perspective with how you see in way of connection with someone else, where you feel a lot better in your place in the connection because it's there for a reason, but it's something of connections have a certain time and way of importance for you and why it matters, and then you cut those connections off and you go about exploring without that connection. Separation makes the heart grow fonder, and so your heart is like breaking open, and it's like it's so new and it's like so uncomfortable, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, there's a reason for it. There's a reason for the pain, there's a reason for the chaos, there's a reason why your feelings are so intense in these moments." All right? And it's so cool when you get yourself to realize feelings are friends. How you feel is a great way to feel. How you deal with your feelings, first got to go with the heart. You first have to act with compassion, okay, like a caring care bear you are for yourself, where feelings are very much so inner child mentality, where with anger it's also related to passion. Passion is related to creation. It could revolve also in way of sexual passion, sexual creation, something to do with that specifically, where it's like toxic because it's other people's own SHIT in the connection, where when you resort yourself and know who you are, you're going to realize that your you have composted your SHIT to be a really cool creation. Like, you know how bad I want to be on the back of someone's like motorcycle? I wonder how many times they're gonna go around. Two? It's cool. It's like so cool too to practice because it's like a circle in like this park that I'm at. I love y'all, if you can, please go to your local park. Like, please check out what is in your local town. Like, I am in the Midwest. It's boring as mayo when it comes to spice of life. All right. And I get so irritated when people are just blase bleak with their own lives because I'm a go getter. I'm a multi-millionaire mindset back when I was like 3 years old. I was like, I want money and I want it now. Now, I'm not here to sell my body. I'm not here to sell my soul. I'm not here to sell anything except my skill, baby. And right now it's for free. So like in this video, in like everything, I'm also allowing you to like you to know in way of like how I handle my emotions in times where it's just like it could unravel so much hard work and it could unravel so much of the like positive production, the positivity that you yourself and I myself and all of us have done in our life where we have tried our best. Okay. We've tried our best in way of understanding how to get along with others. Now we have to understand how to get along. Now we have to understand ourselves in way of how to get along with ourselves emotionally is something where it is kind of coming through. And this is such a cool game changer in way of mentality because emotions have a certain value, if you will, where it's like low vibe value and high vibe value. Mm. When it goes to the high vibe, and this is all your choice, okay? So it'd be um kind of more of a lax attitude would be the low vibe and more of a go-getter attitude would be the high vibe. But then there's also this really cool thing about peace and how that's something where you're not really feeling anything, you're just kind of just sitting and letting yourself to take in who you are in the now and updating, if you will, your realizations of yourself. And know that when it comes to discovery about being a human being, y'all, we are discovering individually now where the technology that we have, the way that we can show and express our opinion, our perspective of life, y'all, please. I know that like you might see some cool like movie, right? You might see a cool commercial, you might see a cool, I don't know what, music video, something to inspire you, okay? To imagine that your life is like a music video, okay? What song do you want? I want glamorous, okay? Please and thank you. Yes, please and thank you. Me personally. But what song do you want in way of your life as a music video? Know that you always have the opportunity to have that mindset of like you're the top 1% richest people of the world. Like I'm the top 1% of the top 1% of the richest people in the world. I am right now. I'm making that right here. And what I just did is like a declaration of independence, if you will. What I just did is making my own path in the future where yes, I will be, but that path is getting laid out right now as I keep going forward. And the same for you. Whatever is like impossible, and you're like, I don't know if I could ever, the probability is so amazingly open when you open yourself to, you know what? Yes. And allowing yourself when you say, oh, I don't know if I can, to remember that In this very moment, you've done enough. Like every single moment, you're going to have a certain thing, a certain like amount of things that you can do in that time period. And then you have to wait until the next tomorrow or the next day or the next time that you do it. And so in that time between, as you wait, you have to allow your mindset, you have to allow your literal, like visual, logical, analytical foresight to start fortifying, okay? You would start to make lists, you would start to vision board, you would start to lay out in way where other people have what you want to have and they've already done what they've done and you will better what they've done by you kind of bettering the system and becoming part of the system even more so. You're like integrating into it. And it's something where it's natural, where you're laying down seeds, you're following the seasons naturally as to how it came before, right? And now you're going to put your little bit of like pizzazz on it, where it's going to be something that it's not overtaking anything else. You're just making yourself kind of like home in whatever you're doing that betters your own life. All right. And it helps you forgive and waive the bitter version you saw yourself in that part of life. I seriously, just then as I opened my mouth, I was going to take a drink of my like microphone. So there we go. Yes. Because like it's kind of like when you're stuck in way of bettering your life, looking for opportunities like to gain more money, right? You have to open your mindset in way where you're frustrated about what's happening. You're like feeling it and you're like, and it's something where this too is inspiration from outside. And so you have to allow yourself to forgive focus of the outside frustration and find focus of either like inside harmony, like of past gratitude places, like memories of like, it hasn't always been that bad. And reminding yourself in the present that there have been really good times. And those are the times to really think about so that you can really nourish yourself with affection where maybe you don't have right now with people who might be also lack mindset. And you're like, I don't know. It might be time for us to part ways for a bit. And it's the whole thing of being alone. You're like, am I sure? Should I do it? Separation makes the heart grow fonder. You know what I mean? You'll see the truth in ways of connections. Um, and truth is not always feeling nice. Like, truth can be very ugly. The truth of how the United States is like created is ugly. All right. And I hope it can be beautiful one day. Every every person, all right, counts. Period point blank. Every creation counts, every tree counts, everything counts because there's this whole beautiful thing of love, right? This energy. The roots of it, getting back to it. What's the point, right? You're created for a reason, you're different for a reason. You love for a reason, and you love to have love be given to you certain ways for a reason. And I'm getting it's like struggling right now because you're frustrated with how other people have given you love and that's how to like that's where you're focusing and I get it. And same, right? So how can we now allow us to separately individually refocus on ourselves, right? And get back to you loving who you are, back to loving every single thing about how life is through you and how like the experience of life is for you. Review wise, how's life for you? I'm so putting that on my Facebook. I like to put like weird, random, like Facebook posts of like really weird stuff that I'm like, someone could find it funny. So that's good. But anyway, so yeah, that's just a video. I hope that it helped you in your own times of chaos and getting back to being at peace within where you are enough in ways of being loved just as who you are, and definitely enough in ways where you deserve to feel at peace with who you are, connected with people who value you with high value, who value your time, your energy, your mentality, your spirituality, who value your physicality as well, who values every single part. You deserve that. You deserve those people in your life, and allowing yourself to separate, release, and forgive in ways of other people who are like that is going to be very, very amazing to experience in ways of peace. Where before it was way different, now it's like, whoa, what is this? And so allow yourself to also, when you do feel at peace with who you are, how you are in the world, give yourself a minute in the present moment to just sit and just feel and breathe. You know what I mean? That's when to really feel. And just to allow your brain, if it goes on to other people, with a very, very compassionate kind of like boundary like embrace, get yourself back onto you. You're the most important person in your life. Give yourself a little quick hug. You know what I mean? And sharing is caring. You know what I mean? So if other people are like around you, when you hug yourself, they're going to like see an example of someone literally hugging themselves. So, meaning and way of what is done outside, and also meaning and way of what is done in way of you doing whatever outside. Look into that too, in way where you might care more so about outside compared to inside, where it's kind of like how to reconnect with outside and how to reconnect with inside in a way where it's good. Bro, it's that motorcycle again. The motorcyclist. Cool. All right, I'll see you in another video. Bye, y'all.